Okay, I'm back. I don't know what happened there, really. I think what happened was the uh, software that I was using just wanted to stop sharing my screen for some reason. Not sure why I did that, but I'm back. And I see that I had some requests there for, uh, let's see. Yeah, I see a comment actually right here about Jackson Hole. Is it truly a chance for a lot of resistance to flip to support? Unless we're not dovish enough, then most resistances won't be broken. Well, I just think it's kind of like uh, it's just a show, right? It's just a show. I think it doesn't really matter. But the chance to break resistance is probably coming soon, but I'm not sure if it's going to be today on Friday. But if it did happen today, then that'd be great because that would be a weekly candle close above. So if it were to happen today, then I think that the last day of the week is the best day to do it, right? The best day to break a resistance is the last day of the week. So we'll see. We'll see about the indices today. We'll see what comes out of Jackson Hole and essentially just keep our eyes open on those resistance levels that I've mentioned before, right? And let's see, Amazon today's range, thinking sell some to get cash to buy coming dip. Let's see about Amazon here. Let's go back here. So Amazon for the daily chart, essentially all that really matters is holding above the 174 from a daily close. But since today is a weekly close, what really matters is closing above that 176.41, right? And that is essential because last week it did it. And if this week can do it again, then I think the future weeks have a good chance of building a base to continue higher. So yeah, today's the day to close above that 176.41, and pre-market it's at 177.22. So that is the levels we are looking at. And the market just opened. So let's take a look real quick here. So we got ARK up 59 cents, Palantir is only up 16. We got SMCI up $4, Enphase up $1, Google up $1, Amazon, Nvidia is up 2, Tesla is up to 14. It's up $4 right now. That's not bad, right? So we'll take a look at Tesla. But again, it's right in the middle of a range, right? Right in the smack dab middle. Like no matter where it closes today, if it closes around like 213 or even up here at 219, it doesn't really change anything, right? It's really got to close back above the 221 to get me more excited. So and let's look at some more miners here. I see a request for WULF before I lost you guys. And WULF is up to it's above the 45-degree angle. It's above the conversion line there at 485. So that's essentially going to be my support for the weeks to come. So it's really good, right? It's a previous resistance zone and it flipped to a support, right? This is really essential. And I love looking at this. That means I want to see 462 hold on weekly candle closes. And if that continues, then I can see price going higher and higher because that makes this chart extremely bullish, right? Does the GAN work on currencies? No, not really. Simply because they're not really growth assets. They really are specifically designed for growth assets, right? And currencies, they fluctuate a lot depending on a lot of different factors. So it doesn't really work on currencies, no. And let's look at BTBT here. And BTBT also is, well, let me go on my log scale for BTBT. I like that better. So BTBT is looking pretty good for closing a weekly candle back above the ARK right there. So this is a good development here. You can see that it was a massive resistance in the past here, right? Still is. So it still could be, even if it closes above. We've seen closes above before and it just went back down. But the main thing I want to see is continue closing above and closing above the cloud too, which will confirm that it might be ready to go higher because you can see over here in time that where the cloud and the ARK meet here in October, that it could be ready to just find a new base and go higher. So I think that is looking good for the longer term for BTBT. And we'll just look at CORZ still, because some people on X are giving me a hard time about it because they love the new CEO. And I don't really care who the CEO is. All I see is resistance, right? Look at a massive wall of resistance right there. Boom, 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 right? And I don't care about it until that resistance breaks, because it's proven to me since June of 2024 for months, right? It's been proven to me that it's resistance, 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 and it doesn't want to break yet. So until it breaks, I cannot be really bullish on it yet, because there's never been a weekly candle close above it. So yeah, but it's clear there's support right here at 948, and even more support here with the angle down here in the 8s. So I'm not bearish on it either. I'm just not excited about it yet, because it already had like a 200% move, right? And after that move, it's cooling off. It's just normal for things to break out and cool off and then wait more time before it breaks out. And I see a request for Upstart. Okay, Upstart is looking like it's going towards resistance as well. And that resistance does sit right now at 42.30, right up there. So I think that could be the target, right? That could be the target for Upstart for the longer term. And on the daily chart, it's 100% bullish as well. So I think it can get there to that $42 level, but will it break out on the first touch of it? Probably not. Just got to take more time. And okay, NEXA. What's NEXA? That's a crypto. We'll look at NEXA USD instead of USDT. So let's just zoom out and look at this chart. What do you see? Well, it's a series of lower lows and lower highs, right? This is a chart that I never really like. I never like these unless they start to confirm a base and then make higher lows after that, right? And so far, it's just holding a floor right there. It's holding a floor. Not sure if that will hold or not, but I guess you can consider that your support there, right? That is the floor right there, maybe a little bit lower. So if it got down there, then that's a possibility, right? But essentially, this is a very bearish chart. There's nothing bullish at all with this chart. It's just hanging on by a thread with this floor. If that floor gets broken on any weekly close, then it's going to continue its falling knife and go lower. But the resistance above is way up here, so it has a chance to recover, but still, it's not an attractive looking chart. And CELR. Kraken. And this one, it's kind of finding a floor, right? If you just look at these candles going across, like it's kind of been support for a long time, right? For almost a couple of years, it's been support. So I think you can consider that still your support, even though it wicked below, it didn't close a candle below. So that's still going to be your support level right there, around 10 cents. And right now it's approaching that resistance of 12,707 right there. So essentially that is going to be a challenge, because it's really sloping down right now, right? It's sloping down almost vertically. So that's going to be a challenge to break through. I think that's just going to take some time, maybe a few more weeks or months for it to break through this level, but we'll see. If it does break through, there's even more resistance up here with these candles right there in the 15-cent zone. So I think that'll be your big resistance zone from the 12 to the 15 cent. All right, let's take a look at the markets again. Okay, look at Tesla recovering already, right? But like I said, it doesn't matter where this week closes, because you can just look, it's still in a range, right? Just looking at this chart when you zoom in, Like I said, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter technically where it closes unless it closes back in the cloud and above that 221. Then that changes technically, right? But if it closes here or at 218, 219, 220, whatever, it doesn't change my opinion of anything. It's still bullish, but it's still stuck under resistance. But let's see. Maybe there can be enough momentum to just close above everything and then surprise us all, right? And then I'll be excited. And then you'll see on my weekly Tesla update on the video tonight. So we'll see what happens. But essentially, there's no change from yesterday because that support of the 221 was lost, right? So since that was lost, it's resistance again. And I'm not going to be excited about anything until it flips back to support. Let me. I love this comment. Hello, sir. Does ADS chart look glorious to you? Nice. Glorious. Let's take a look. ADS. The gloriality of it all. I need the chart to go super bullish so I can get more gas money. All right. Yeah, gas is pretty expensive, right? Let me just show you some things here with some ADS, and it's above the conversion line there, so that's good. Let me just take off the indicators here. I'm going to show you both the log scale chart and the linear scale chart just for fun on this one, and that's the 45-degree angle. It reclaimed it as support, so that's really good. So price has the opportunity to go back to the 17s, but when we go to the the linear scale chart right here, you can see it's exactly at a resistance, right? So the two different scale charts are showing me two different things. And this one is showing this blue angle right here was a support, and now it lost it as a support. So that's why you're not really seeing a breakout right now, is because of this resistance right here at the current price, right? But if it breaks that linear scale resistance right here, then we can use the log scale again, and then it'll probably go up to the 17 or 18s before any more resistance gets met. So that is ADS for you. Yes, that does sound good. What else we got? So I think any more requests, guys? And sorry about the technical difficulties I had earlier. I blame the restream. Maybe I'll have to do what Meet Kevin does and use StreamYard. I don't know, because it just disconnected my chart for some reason and it wouldn't connect back. So that's annoying. Hello, Tomas Mattsby. So I guess no more requests. We'll just do another final look. Oh, XRP. You want to look at that? Yeah, we'll take a look at XRP, but first we'll see the markets. Yeah, they're continuing higher still. Good uptrend going on. Yeah, okay, so let's take a look at XRP here on log scale. The only chart that matters is the log scale chart. So it's stuck, right? It's stuck symmetry-wise in between the arcs for a long time, and a really long time, right? Even back here, a really, really long time. Even back in January of the all-time high, it was stuck in the arcs, right? And there's no difference. So essentially, when it breaks the arcs, it's going to be time to fly, right? But until that happens, you can see the only thing holding it back now, the only thing that really I'm looking at right now is that 200-week moving average right there. It's been very stubborn. You can see so many weeks in a row, like once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, basically 5, almost 6 weeks in a row. It's been stuck under this 200-week moving average, and you can't really get excited about something like this until it breaks. And I want it to break by a lot, right? Not just a little bit. I want it to be like at least like 63, 64, 65 cents, a weekly candle close above. So then when it comes back down to back test it, then it'll be time to flip it to support to continue higher on that. Yeah, Shane, I did upstart earlier in this stream, so you can take a look at that UPST. And Ethereum, It was, yeah, the upstart was after I got disconnected, and then I went back live and I did it, so you can just rewind to watch that. Let's take a look at Ethereum here. So the biggest thing with Ethereum that I'm noticing is also stuck under a 50-week moving average right there. So don't really need to use anything else, and it's not really ready to continue higher until there is a weekly candle close above that 2732. So currently it's at 2655 and it's just stuck. And if it can't break above, it might even come back down to my angle below here, which kind of sits in the 23 or 2400s. So we'll see that. And Bitcoin, when do I expect Bitcoin to make new all-time highs or perhaps surpass 80,000? Well, when it stops making these lower highs, right? You can see from here, it's been a lower high, lower high, lower high. So essentially, the first step is I wanted to reclaim the 62,500 level right there. And the second step is to make a higher high from this candle here, which is at 70,016. So the first higher high above that would be maybe like at 70,000, a weekly candle above like 70,017 or above, right? So I think essentially any weekly candle close back above 70,000 is when I believe it'll be ready to take off, right? Because I need this to stop making lower highs. And that's all it's doing so far is making lower highs. So the first higher high is when I'll get excited. But it all starts with building a base back on top of this 62,500 with weekly candle closes, because it was a support here and now it's flipping to resistance. So I need that to be the first step before it even closes a weekly candle above 75. Or sorry, 70, not 75. HBAR, ALGO, yeah, those two have been doing pretty well, right? I mentioned this in my Patreon as well, that things are taking off from that support that was met down there, that long-term support level, held perfectly. Didn't even need to go back down to my blue angle, but essentially it's going to be approaching resistance on its way back up to 6 cents, maybe 6.2 or so. Then even more resistance above. So at least this chart on the high time frame is still bullish, right? Because from here, it's a higher low, higher low, higher low, right? So this is really good. This is what you want to see for a high time frame bullish market structure, is a continuation of higher lows, right? That is what we're seeing with HBAR. So it's just got to break this resistance levels above. And with ALGO here, same thing for ALGO. It did find this long-term support level here, right there. It did go below it a little bit, but it's still the range, right? And it did wick to that level again recently, but now it's approaching some resistance right here. Let's see if it can close the week above that 13.8 level. And then after that, the next resistance is going to be the 16.75. So it's going in the right direction there. And it did hold previous lows back in 2023, which some coins did not, but this one did. So this is a good sign of a possible bottom and a continuation higher. And let's just do one last look at the markets here. Yeah, let's see. The Dow's up 200, IWM's up 2, QQQ 3, SPY 3. Yeah, so things are just recovering from what they did yesterday. There was no need to panic. It was just another opportunity because things went down to retest supports, right? And I think everything is looking pretty good. And let's just check out end phase before I'm done here, simply because I want to see this week close back above that blue line. And so far it is, right? So let's see if it can close above 118. If it can close above 118, then I think it can start to build a base back on top of it to finally go higher and higher for end phase. So this is looking more and more interesting for end phase. I do like it. I do like how this 50-week moving average is looking like it wants to start to slope upwards for the first time, right? Look at that. It hasn't sloped upwards in a long time. So a upward sloping 50-week moving average is a very positive sign for support. So I think that could be any great opportunity back to 112 would be amazing for a buy opportunity, in my opinion. So yeah, I think that's it for today, and just keep an eye on those resistance levels that I mentioned. So we'll see if the J hole event. Oh, I see one for ARKK. Yeah, yeah, it's stuck right at resistance there, right at the 45.15. That's the 50-week moving average. So we'll see if the Jackson Hole event will be enough to make it close a weekly candle above again for a bullish continuation higher. But these V bottoms are very obvious patterns, and that's exactly what just happened recently. So this chart did have people worried, including myself, but it just was following a pattern, and now it's back to where it was before. And I think once it closes a week back above that 50, it'll be ready to continue higher again. So I love it a lot. Oh, I see another one. PEKAT. Yeah, so PEKAT, let's see here. Had an explosive move, but it's losing strength. It's clear to me now it's losing strength. You can see that it broke out, was holding the conversion line as a support, and now it's looking to flip it as a resistance. And this weekly candle basically closed below the conversion line for the first time. That puts 74 cents back on the table, really, right? That's what it does. So it's going to be in a range, and this is going to be resistance until proven otherwise. So maybe just got to wait for this one to cool off a little bit. So yeah, that's the market today. It looks like a lot of green today, no red on my screen right at all, except for WULF right down there. That's a little bit red. But everything is, all the miners are essentially kind of flat right now too, just flat. Yeah. So yeah, that's it for today, and be on the lookout for my Tesla and Palantir video on X, and my weekly updates on Patreon. All right, guys.